Hi, this is Phil Shapiro in Tacoma Park, Maryland. Today I have a treat for you, a book review of a children's book by a local author, Tricia Elam Walker, and her cousin, who's the illustrator. Let's take a look at this book, Dream Street. So this book is reminiscing of a happy childhood in Roxbury, Massachusetts. That's a section of Boston. And the authors are childhood friends, cousins. So one is the writer, Tricia Elam Walker, and the other is the illustrator. The illustrator, Ikwa Holmes, is very distinguished. She's a Caldecott honoree, that's a very distinguished award, and a Coretta Scott King medalist. And then Tricia Elam Walker is also highly talented. She's a professor of creative writing at Howard University in Washington, D.C. So let's take a look at this book. Here's one of the pages of the book. So in this book, you meet different characters in the neighborhood. And what I like about this book is that each character has a little bit of wisdom to share. So each morning, unless it's raining, Mr. Sidney reads the newspaper on his stoop, dressed to the nines, Miss Sarah likes to say. What's the nines, a child will ask, and Miss Sarah will answer, fancy, fancy. Mr. Sidney is a retired mail carrier, living his dream of never having to wear a uniform again. He tips his big brown fedora, that's a hat, and greets everyone with, "Don't wait to have a great day, create one." So that's a piece of interesting wisdom, that we are agents of our own life. We can create happiness, we can create community. So what I like about this book is that it is timeless. So the same book is going to be very interesting to read in 10 years, 20 years, and 50 years, and 100 years, because everything in this book is true and is wise. I like this page of the book. Zion walks around the corner to the library to read skyscraper tall piles of books that takes him on adventures around the world. When other kids laugh or talk, he tells them, shh, because doesn't everyone know you're supposed to be quiet in there? Some days, Miss Barbara, the librarian, hands him a brand new book and says softly, "I have a feeling this is your cup of tea." "Can boys be librarians?" Zion whispers to her, because it's his dream to become one. "Of course they can," she whispers back. He flashes a bright smile and continues his journey through the pages of the next book. So I am curious. I'm curious to find out if Zion is a librarian today, because this book is about real characters in a real neighborhood. So since I work at a library, I am curious to find out if Zion's dream became true, or maybe he's not a librarian, but he otherwise works in books or publishing, or maybe he's a college professor or some such. Here's the author and illustrator's note. The cousins Edie and Terry in the book are us, Ikwa and Tricia. The story is based on our real lives and dreams growing up as a visual artist and a writer. As children, we loved what we loved, drawing and writing, and were always encouraged by friends and family. Now we know, and now we want you to know, that dreams do come true with lots of hard work along the way. So this is a story about, this whole book is a story about a neighborhood where children were encouraged to pursue their dreams. Some of the dreams are to become a scientist, some are to become a dancer. I just loved the book. I think it's it has not yet won a Coretta Scott King Award, but I think, speaking as a library worker, I think it's really in that category of books. And then I liked at the end of the book, there is an expression of gratitude to the parents of the to the mothers of the two authors, and this is the expression of gratitude from Tricia Elam Walker to both her mother and her cousin's mother. To Florence Palmery Holmes, although you were small in stature, you were a strong, forthright mountain of a woman, and you steadfastly displayed your love and your pride. Your real legacy lives on through your grandson, your great-granddaughter, and your daughter, and of course I know you're proud of our work together. To Barbara Clark Elam, along with all your life lessons, you taught me to love and respect words, and thus I do. You taught me to appreciate even the smallest of moments, and I do that as well. I'm a writer because of you, showed me the power books hold. Your love for family had no bounds, and for that I'm finally grateful. I know you're beaming over your work, this work your niece and I created. So that's from Tricia, and then we have expressions of gratitude from the illustrator. To Barbara Clark Elam, a very special woman who led countless lives into the world of literature, our very own librarian, storyteller, aunt, mother, counselor, encourager, and friend. I hope this book you might have recommended we read together as children, a book that will make you feel proud of us. To Florence Palmery Holmes, a very special woman who allowed me to dream of being an artist. A woman who taught me to keep my head to the sky and my feet on the ground. Mom, your quiet determination to give me a better life opened many doors for me. I hope this book will make you smile and that you are the best mother I could have had. So if you're curious about this writer and illustrator, I commend you to look them up on YouTube, because I found a bunch of very interesting videos about these two talented people. And without further mentioning what I found, I'm going to encourage you to go and pursue your own little journey of exploration. You will find some interesting stuff. And this is the earlier book that I was familiar with from Tricia Elam Walker, Nana Akua Goes to School. And this is a story about a grandmother from Ghana, and such an interesting story with important lessons for everyone. Nana Akua Goes to School. And if you're curious how I'm making this book review, I'm making this book review with my $12.50 laptop that I bought on eBay. This is an older laptop. It came with a cracked screen, so I use an external monitor with this laptop. And I have a Logitech webcam up here that is recording this little video I made. I made the PowerPoint, the presentation, I made it with the free software called LibreOffice. So that's part of Linux. I'm using Linux, the free operating system, because the free operating system, it points towards a more inclusive world, and a more inclusive world is one with less violence. How I made this video book review. This is the software I used. I was using something called Linux Mint. I use a free program called Simple Screen Recorder. It's a screencasting program that I love. And I use something called GUVC View. That's the webcam that lets me record, lets me see myself right here on the screen. And I have an exterior monitor. My monitor that I'm using over here is an HP monitor that's 24 inches. It's 1920 by 1080. Which another name for that is Full HD. And there is my contact information if you want to contact me, and some information about my background and interests over on opensource.com. If you're interested in seeing my other book reviews, I have a website, a Google Sites with my other book reviews. I think I have about 60 book reviews in video form. I make my book reviews in video form because it reaches a broader audience, and some of the people who are looking at the book reviews, they may or may not be active readers, but they could maybe be able to access books via audiobooks. So this is Phil Shapiro. Until next time.